Right, we are live.
Hello.
Welcome everyone. I am Ronnke, your GM, and I am joined today by Nosh, Rigel Kent, Gigaman, FX Engineer, and Mel. Today we are diving into a one-shot mission in the Star Trek Original Series universe. We're using the versatile GURPS system by Steve Jackson Games. Our virtual tabletop of choice is Fantasy Grounds. You can catch this session along with past adventures on YouTube and as audio-only podcasts. Find the links in the video description below. If you enjoy our content, please consider supporting us by liking this video and subscribing to our Twitch and YouTube channels. Let's begin.
Or don't.
But do.
All right, so first up, does anyone have any character business? We'll start with the captain.
No character business. I'm gonna save those 2 points for another session.
As per usual, I allow 3 sessions of character tweaking as you see fit, as long as the characters remain essentially the same. Any character business for Commander Lorian?
I took extensive use of that reshuffling. I made sure that I do have a bunch of the skills that I should have had before, like ship handling and piloting and interrogation, that sort of thing. But
Okay.
didn't spend more than a point on them.
All right. Lieutenant Commander Darzan.
Negative on the expenditures.
Lieutenant Commander Psylocke.
Just one change, and I had dropped the electrician skill, which after we did the ship combat, I think it's one that I need, or I should have just as an option. So I just kind of tweaked that back in. But the only problem is I couldn't download the skills under the abilities modules. I don't think I have the modules turned on.
Let me just make sure that I've got them enabled for players.
I thought you did last week.
Yeah, I see the skills.
I do not see the traits.
I do.
These things
Well,
don't have to be
not a
turned
big
on
deal,
every
except
time, do they?
I can add it manually, but I don't see when I click on abilities, and I don't see anything.
Have you gone to the setup and the module activation, made sure that it's actually loaded and activated?
Right.
See, I
So
did
when I
that
go to
last week.
modules,
I'm looking at everything
gosh.
my end, and it looks like it's set up correctly, so players should be able to enable them.
I'm stupid. Sorry. I had clicked on modules and it comes up blank, but then I clicked on activation and it brings up stuff. So yeah, it seems like it should be on that first tab, but anyways.
All good. So
Yeah.
any
Sorry
special business for Psylocke?
No,
Character
other than
business?
that, I felt like, I mean, at least for the stuff that we did, I had the right skills. I used a template, so I felt pretty good about that. If we do any other type of encounters, like, for like not ship encounters, but other types of encounters, he might need to do something, but I think he's good for now.
All right. Then finally, Lieutenant Jones.
Nothing from me.
All right. Then we shall begin. I will get the captain to read his log as soon as it appears in chat.
It has appeared. Okay, here we go. Captain's log, stardate 5439.5. After completing the delivery of medical supplies and transferring our prisoner to Durap 4, we received an urgent dispatch to the Omega Draconis A star to assist with an emergency evacuation. The system is a remarkable anomaly. At its heart lies a black hole emitting a vast radiation plume, which provides heat to the surrounding celestial bodies. Starfleet has established a research station, Abyss, to study this rare phenomenon. Opposite the black hole on the far side of its orbit is Omega Draconis #1, a planet hosting isolated pockets of a pre-warp civilization. Further complicating the system's mysteries, an ancient space station orbits perilously close to the black hole itself. Starfleet's primary focus is unraveling the secrets of this enigmatic structure while adhering strictly to the Prime Directive, ensuring no interference with the pre-warp civilization. We are en route to assess the situation and lend aid as needed.
Everybody take a drink.
Thank you.
Where are we taking a drink?
You said Prime Directive.
Oh, gotcha. Then I shall take a drink.
So, what happened at the last session? We kind of escaped the danger, so we're basically just jumping into a new adventure, right?
Correct. Each mission will be its own separate entity.
Unless we drag ass.
Some more or less continuing on from the previous missions. With the addition of text in Fantasy Grounds, I've been able to make this map entirely within the Fantasy Grounds map editor, which is really cool.
Oh, that's the actual map text.
Nice.
Yes. Everything on this is built in Fantasy Grounds, so that's rather cool.
Keep meaning to poke around with that.
All right, so you are set to arrive in system momentarily. Is there anything that your character is doing prior to that arrival?
No idea. Depends on what the duty law or the duty stations are.
Lieutenant Commander Psylocke is shooting it up.
All right, so you are indulging in your legal. Did you work out whether that was going to be a legal or an illegal drug you're taking?
It's going to be legal and sanctioned, although frowned upon. But due to my expertise, Starfleet deemed that they would accept it.
It's Vulcan Ritalin.
What's the we're to assist with an emergency evacuation of the alien base or the Abyss station?
You are to assist the emergency evacuation of the Abyss station. As far as you are aware, there have been some complications related to the study of the alien base. There is also an issue with the system in general. You are to report to Commander Talar, who is the lead on this research mission on Abyss Station. She will fill you in with all the extra details.
All right.
Is that a Starfleet commander?
That is a Starfleet commander, yes.
Oddly low rank.
Commander? What do you mean low rank?
I would expect it to be a captain.
Well, to be fair, Starfleet of this era is, in the proper TOS era, is not quite as large as you would think. I mean, clearly, that's the only explanation for you're the only ship in the sector, Jim.
All right.
Sorry, what was the name of that commander?
Commander Talar. I'll type it in chat.
I started a dramatis personae note.
You have to share it.
Maybe I will.
Well, he doesn't have
Maybe
to.
I will.
So I take it no one's doing anything special.
Having dinner.
Drinking tea. After
Well, in
dinner.
the, you know, Commander or Lieutenant Commander Psylocke is also, again, checking all his equipment. He's just very OCD about it, making sure everything is tip-top ship shape and working at 100% or better efficiency.
Oh man, it just occurred to me. You're playing a Vulcan equivalent of Monk from USA, the that old show, the detective who's like super OCD.
Dr.
You happen
Jones
to
is
also play
working
the
late.
engineer.
Oh, that's right. He was, yeah.
1 minute while I try and remember the names of the NPCs.
Which NPCs? The crew?
The bridge crew.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're going to keep asking us what we're doing out of the blue, we're going to have to start creating a random table.
Well, I don't mean specifically what you're doing, but if there's anything in relation to your mission, perhaps you wanted to find out a little bit more about Omega Draconis or something like that.
Well,
Well,
thinking about it,
Omega
if you thought about it
Draconis
that
is
way, then Psylocke will be maybe working closely with, I don't know if it'd be, let's see, Yeager's character,
Darzan.
because you're the chief scientist. I don't know if that's like your area, like sensors and stuff like that. Maybe
Yeah.
making sure that we can do like appropriate long range scans or, get additional information that's not typical, things like that, just going above and beyond.
Right. Well, Darzan is going to be researching the situation, so you are welcome to join.
If you're
Yeah,
doing
so
some
I'll be
research,
assisting.
and you have the research skill, you're welcome to roll.
Why the hell not? Let's see. I don't have any modifiers on that. Yeah, we'll just roll it. And that was a shit roll. But it succeeded.
All right, so from your research, you will learn that Omega Draconis A star is a black hole that has a brilliant radiation plume. In the system is Abyss
Sorry.
Station. It is set up primarily to monitor and learn about this phenomenon. There is in this system, many, like 100,000 years ago or something to that effect, the star went supernova and destroyed all the planets within the system, excepting one. So currently there is one surviving planet. It is small and it contains the only sentient life in the system. The population of the inhabitants of this planet number around about 1,000.
Yeah.
There is also a massive alien facility. It's spherical, mostly featureless, and very, very old. Starfleet anthropologists hypothesized that it was built by the either the Preservers, Iconians, or Tacon Empire at some point prior to the supernova. Until now, the facility has been silent and dark, and Starfleet has yet to find a way to gain entrance.
So in typical Hollywood fashion, Darson is going to read off the screen to Psylocke, even though he's looking right at the same screen.
Exposition.
I love it.
Is there anything else that that you intend to perhaps do or research or prepare?
No, I think the cosmology of this region is probably a big enough bite to chew.
The helmsman should actually... Can the GM open a character sheet?
As a PC, no. You'd have to
So it appears
start
in...
a new, like I did. I was doing. You start a new instance of Fantasy Grounds and come in as a player.
Alright, so you can't open it up so it appears in the PC list.
Sadly, no.
That really needs to be a thing.
Pity. Alright, your helmsman on the bridge. Your helmsman, Lieutenant Sin. An Andorian, says, Captain, we are approaching Omega Draconis. Words today. We are approaching Omega Draconis A star.
Very good. Let's make way for Abyss Station.
Hey, Captain, taking us out of warp.
Said Omega Draconis A? Yeah, that's on the thing. So it is a binary.
It doesn't have a black hole in it, though.
Well, that's another matter.
All right, you will come out of warp and find yourself in system. Anyone monitoring sensors can make a sensors roll.
Oh, that's my job, damn it.
Maybe trying to retcon a little bit. What I intended to do before was maybe fine tune the sensors to work better for gathering data from a black hole.
To screen out the radiation.
So I don't know if I could do like an assist and get an extra +1 on there.
Sure.
Success by 4. I don't know if that'll help any.
Who knows?
In this case, it will actually help. So make your roll.
Did we ever determine whether or not we got any bonuses off the ship systems?
Technically, you do get bonuses, but then you have to take into account modifiers for range and other stuff. And
Luckily, the size modifier of the black hole will be rather significant.
One would expect.
indeed, and for general purposes, we don't need to go into that sort of level of detail.
Because the GM
Right.
doesn't want to look it up.
Plus, it's Star Trek. You either detect it or you don't.
All right, so you recalibrate the sensors to filter for the various radiation that is present in this system, giving a further +1 to your sensors roll. So upon arriving in system, you will begin to scan, and you will see there are a number of gravimetric distortions that seem to emanate from the alien base. These appear to be random in nature, and as it happens, there is a gravimetric wave currently bound for the ship.
That seems bad.
There's a gravimetric wave bound for this ship.
Explain, what is a such wave?
As you know,
All right, you will explain that gravitational distortions or gravimetric wave creates high density differences in space-time, which can cause physical objects such as the ship to shear, and in more extreme conditions, spaghettify.
Well, that doesn't sound good at all. Spaghettify.
However, the level of these are not likely to destroy the ship, but there's potential danger.
Is there anything we could do with the shields to make them maybe counteract or absorb or reflect this wave, gravimetric wave?
Not in the time that you have for the immediate threat. The captain, you will realize this is an operation for helm, and your helmsman Ensign Weldon says, "Captain, I've plotted a course which should take us above the wave. We should miss most of the gravimetric wave's effects."
Very good.
And
Make it so.
Lieutenant Sin turns to face the captain at the helm, waiting for your order.
Well, then make it so.
And indeed he will. Shall roll. You will get +2 due to the sensors. That +2, that's an easy success. The ensign takes the Lexington up and above the gravimetric wave, missing all but the weakest effects. Sorry, all but the weakest effects. The ship shudders a little bit, but there's no damage. Hull integrity is good. Shields are good. Everything's good.
What's the source of this wave? What causes it?
Did you say it came from the base?
The gravimetric distortions appear to be emanating from the base, yes.
Peculiar. Perhaps Commander Talal will be able to explain further. Let's make our way to Abyss Station. Let them know we are seeking permission to dock. Dock?
No, we'd
Orbit.
be orbiting and beam over to it.
Actually, let me do this.
Well, we might dock. Actually, can we bring down the shields in this radiation?
Nice.
Ah, there you go.
I'm actually in the process of rendering an animated version of the view screen. So next session, it'll have the flashing lights down the bottom.
Okay, you're just gonna loop that. I was gonna say you can't stop the loop, so if you did like the materialized transition on the image, then it would just keep looping that.
Yeah, no, it's just going to be like an overlay on the actual image itself. So
Well,
there'll be
if you left a hole in it, you could actually just drop the view image behind it.
that's the plan.
Well, that's a great idea.
But that's a good point, Giger. If we can't actually drop shields, we will have to dock because you can't beam through shields.
You can drop shields. The ship's hull will protect against most of the radiation. However, give me a perception roll for Darzan as you're looking through the view screen or your little sensor window thing.
Just perception.
Just perception.
Well, I got
Okay.
lots of that.
Well done.
You will notice that this black hole has like your standard accretion disk, and there's also a jets north and south, or at the poles of the black hole. However, the black hole appears to be rotated 90 degrees to the galactic plane.
Was it not that way before?
Well, that's generally an impossibility. So it's like the black hole is turned on its side.
Again, very
And
curious.
with your success by 9, it becomes immediately apparent to you that because of that, this the jets that emanate from the black hole emanate along the galactic plane. So
Right.
all the planets and stuff in this system are likely to get irradiated.
If I'm not mistaken, we're about to get hosed. How long do we have?
Well, you can certainly avoid any complications related to that. Its spin is not that fast. You will see that Abyss Station is orbiting sort of perpendicular to the radiation jet. However, the planet Omega Draconis I is in the firing line.
Mm-hmm. And there it is.
You estimate that the situation on the planet could be dire within hours, not days.
We need to speak to the station's commander as soon as possible. Let's get on board.
The Lexington begins to approach the Abyss Station when your communications officer, her name,
Lieutenant Yatrix.
Ellen Yatrix. She says, "Captain, Abyss Station is hailing us."
Open.
The view screen changes, and you have the image of Commander.
Hello, Commander Tla. Good to see you.
Indeed, Captain. You have arrived in just the nick of time.
Please, quickly, what is the assessment and how can we help?
Well, we have a situation that has transpired, and I'm afraid to say that I believe we are responsible for that situation.
Well, explain.
As you can see, the station has activated prior to any involvement from us. It was dead and silent. Upon activating, the station began generating enormous, impossible amounts of power. This caused the black hole in which all these bodies orbit to slowly rotate perpendicular to the galactic plane. I'm not sure if you realize this puts the colony on Omega Draconis I at risk.
Understood. We had come to some similar conclusion not long ago. And what are your recommendations, Commander?
I suggest you make your way to the station as quick as possible, Captain, and we shall convene a meeting to work out our next moves.
So be it. We'll be there shortly.
the view screen will go dark and you will see
Excellent.
you will see the Abyss Station. It is your standard regular class starbase.
Well, let's make our way to the transporter room. Number 1, you can come with me. Science Officer Darzan, you can come with me. Dr. Jones, please join me in the transporter room.
On my way.
Sure, we don't need to take a shuttle.
Well, we would know. Shuttle, teleport, whatever. Whatever the GM says.
Just a transporter. Just being murdered and broken down.
Taking a shuttle could be advantageous. Transporter could be impacted by the gravimetric distortions. So there's, while the risk is low, it's not zero.
All right, we'll take the shuttle then.
Ooh.
And you can ignore my link because that was the transporter sound.
Now we need the shuttle sound.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what they have on Trek Core Audio.
Okay, we'll all shuttle over.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I should actually show this as well. You shuttle over. Who is piloting the shuttle?
Yeah, it's a good question. Who is piloting the shuttle?
Well, I suppose any one of us could do that.
Well, I've got a whopping 11 in starships. I'm not sure if the shuttle classifies as such.
I have 11 shuttlecraft.
Jones has a 12 in piloting shuttlecraft.
What about Psylocke?
He does not. He's not good at flying.
Well, looks like the doctor's like, wah, and she jumps on the.
Don't we
With
take one
my-
of those red shirts with us to fly, pilot?
With my dice, we would probably be
gonna
better
be
off
awesome.
taking the transporter.
Well, I'm just crit hunting, so go ahead, roll your dice.
Go for it,
It's
Mal.
like riding a bike.
But Psylocke
Isn't that
is
kinda-
right, or FX is right. We probably do need at least one red shirt to come with.
Whew, I tried to
It's
fail.
true.
Success by 0.
Yeah, I mean, we need somebody to do the work. You can't be doing the work.
I wonder, have you played with the sounds in Fantasy Grounds?
I have not.
It might be interesting to see if they work without Sirenscape.
Yeah, that
I
might
feel
be
like I
something
looked at that.
because I was just totally thinking that would be really cool if you could also attach it to an image. So it's like if you share the image, the sound starts playing. So for example, you share an on screen, it goes to the bridge ambient sounds.
That would be kind of cool. In any case, you land in the hangar bay of Abyss Station. There is a couple of red shirts that are there to greet you. And the red shirt will say, "Welcome aboard, Captain. Commander Talal has asked me to escort you to her conference room."
Very well.
You follow, and are led through the corridors. You see some Starfleet personnel going about their business, walking through corridors, going places, because that's all Starfleet personnel seem to be doing. They just go places. You jump into a turbo lift, and soon find yourself in a conference room. Sitting there is Commander Talal.
We sit down, and I say to Commander Talal, "So, what are Starfleet's ideas on this whole business?"
Well, let me fill you in a little bit. We, as you know, we have been researching the alien base. We have determined that the base has a shell of neutronium, which prevents our sensors from penetrating. Our staff managed to rig a set of gravimetric dampeners that have allowed them to walk on the surface without being crushed. For meta information, you know that neutronium is the densest known matter that you've ever encountered, or that you know of. Several weeks ago,
Go ahead.
Several weeks ago, one of our research teams located what turned out to be an ancient computer terminal on the exterior of the alien base. After much study and trial and error, they were able to activate the interface with the system. The last transmission indicated they opened the doorway on the surface. The base began to activate. As you know, after activation, the black hole shifted its rotation perpendicular to the galactic plane.
Very well. And what have you done since?
Well, there's very little we have been able to do. We have 2 shuttlecraft, both of which are inoperable. The first one was on the alien station when the gravimetric distortions began. We assume it is lost. The second shuttle was en route to Omega Draconis I when the black hole tilted, making it little more than a loose cloud of ever-expanding atoms.
Sorry for the loss of your crew. Why were they going to the planet, if I may ask?
She will be hesitant. If anyone has body language of that crew that are present in the meeting,
Is she a Vulcan?
she is a Vulcan, yes.
Why are her eyebrows wrong then?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Ask the AI. She's a 1960s Vulcan.
Sure, blame
all
the
the
AI.
Vulcans, all the Vulcans in the 1960s had proper eyebrows.
Zzz.
I was just wondering if she was capable of lying.
Vulcans can lie. Anyone who tells you that Vulcans cannot lie is lying.
All right,
Telling
so
you a deliberate
Captain
mistruth.
How about that? I rolled
Remus, you
the
will.
exact results twice.
It is usually very hard to read a Vulcan, but you can see that what she's, her surface thoughts give her a little bit of concern, or there's some hesitancy there. She's not easy with it.
Okay, this is where I
She
want
says,
to use
"Oh, okay, go on."
Go ahead. I want to use my diplomacy, disarming smile, and get her to be more truthful.
All right, make your roll.
But you're Sean Connery. You should slap her or something.
So, yeah, I'll smile and say, now, Commander. What more is going on in that Vulcan mind of yours?
She collects herself and she says, "I sent the shuttle with a crew to Draconis, Omega Draconis I, to make first contact with the local inhabitants. I hope to evacuate them, or begin evacuating them."
Ah, yes. I'm surprised, Commander Talal. Expect that sort of empathic response from a human being. And I look over at Lorian. What say you, number one?
Sorry, I dropped
Excuse my number one. He's mute today.
No, I dropped my stupid thing there. Sorry. The first thing he's going to point out is that this is a pre-warp culture that we are potentially interfering with. However, if we are responsible for this,
Responsible or
look
not,
that up.
what's the law say? What's Starfleet regulations say about when we perhaps are at fault and in these situations? I want to be absolutely clear that we're not going to be against Starfleet regulations.
Well, I got a success by 2 on Law Federation Military.
Well, you would know that Starfleet, the Prime Directive is pretty clear that you are not supposed to interfere with pre-warp civilizations. They must undertake their natural course of evolution. However, in a case where that natural evolution is impacted by a result of Starfleet actions, then the Prime Directive can be put aside.
Sure. Given that your goals are noble, and I can only presume how terrible it feels when these things happen. However, I am thinking, can we not, in tandem, if you prepare to, how many individuals are living on this planet?
We estimate the
Around
number.
1,000?
We estimate the number around 1,000 individuals.
Very well. You prepare to evacuate as needed, but I'm looking at my science officer. Mr. Darjan, do you think there's any necessity for us to go over to that alien craft and see if we can't perhaps reduce the chance of this happening?
We need to also find the missing crew.
As much as I would love to go over to the alien base and discover its secrets, I think that might take longer than we have.
On
Mr.
the
Darlington,
contrary,
your thoughts?
what if we can find a way to turn the gravity thing back, the black hole back?
Power of that magnitude, surely. I wouldn't want to quote a certain engineer from history, but it's got to have an on-off switch, eh?
Perhaps we could reconstruct how it happened in the first place to determine whether or not it could be reversed.
Exactly. My recommendation, Captain, is I will lead Commander Darzin, Commander Psylocke, and along with Ensign Smith over there to the station while you and Dr. Jones continue to assist Commander Tala in preparing the aliens for evacuation.
I see. Very well. Split up the party, eh?
Absolutely. We can leave Ensign Smith with you. Actually, that's a better idea.
I'm inclined to accompany you, along with the good Dr. Jones, just in case we need to provide medical assistance to any survivors. I'm sure Commander Talal has this evacuation in hand. You could wait for our signal to indicate whether you should proceed with your evacuation or not.
What happens if we disappear?
We're the main
And
characters.
if we all disappear, well, we'll get to discover the great unknown then, won't we?
So your intentions are to split the group.
Maybe. Sounds like
I
the
think we
captain may
unsplit
have. It sounds like the captain may have just said nope.
Yes, I think I should go along with you, along with Dr. Jones. I am curious to see this ancient relic. I think Commander Talal can handle the evacuation on her own. Have we stumped the GM?
Nope, I'm just dropping things onto the map. This one here. I should drop your ship as well.
Okay, thank goodness. I thought we were all floating in space. I thought she spaced all of us.
She's actually a Romulan.
Ooh, those Romulans. I'll be right back.
So the intention thus far is for people to be where? The commander, Talar, she will say, "Unfortunately, Captain, I must remain here on Abyss Station and make preparations for our own evacuation should things get worse."
I think he may have stepped away for a minute.
And I am back. You have to stay on the station, do you?
Yes, Captain. I must make preparations for our own evacuation.
Very well. Can your team handle the evacuation off the planet, or do you need our assistance for that?
Without any shuttlecraft, and given our time constraints, I believe the only logical option is to utilize the Lexington to evacuate Omega Draconis personnel.
Mr. Psylocke, then you will be responsible for organizing this.
Wait, why would we not want him with us at the alien base so as to maximize our engineering capability?
Very true. Very true. All right.
How many can we actually get on the ship? We've got a crew of around 400, something like that. I don't know how much extra space we actually have.
You could probably evacuate the entire 1,000 odd inhabitants into the cargo hold and various other places on board the ship, but it would only be a temporary measure. You'd have to take them somewhere.
Very well. Let's get Psylocke over with us, and oh my, who can we assign to out of our crew to be prepared
we got
to
plenty of
beam people up?
You're going to have to do it all by yourself.
Yeah, we have many highly capable people that are wandering around doing various things.
Dude, you watch Star Trek, right? Main characters do everything.
Well, I'm not sure how many of the main characters just want to sit around during the adventure and watch it unfold. So, yeah, the PCs are all going to go over to that structure.
If you're trying to keep the group together for the purpose of keeping the group together, there's no need. There's things that happen at both locations if you wanted to split the party.
I see. In that case, I will allow the three at the alien craft to be there, and Psylocke and I will be on the ship, and we will handle the evacuation.
Yeah, the evacuation is the planet, isn't it?
Unless
Right.
number one, you want to come with me, and we send the engineer with them.
Well, I was going to take the engineer with me to the thing because this is possibly let me think. Yeah, I would probably want the engineer with that, on the alien base,
All
because
right.
I'm hoping there's like a potential engineering solution. Like he works alongside Dallas and is able to pull a magic rabbit out of their
All right.
their hats.
Agreed. So we'll put Psylocke over on the alien base, and you just want to leave me on the ship, or does the doctor want to come over with me?
Dr. Jones is going to request to help set up for the evacuees. She's going to have to coordinate some medical supplies and other things for getting everyone on the ship, probably some vaccinations and etc.
This is going to blow their minds. Okay, very well. You might as well come on over to the ship then.
Did you change Giger? Shouldn't that be Lieutenant Commander Dallas?
No.
Their
No,
names.
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Their names are not like. If you're thinking surname first, the Trill don't do that. Because remember, you have Esri Dax and crap, I can't remember whatever her name was. Dax is the symbiote. That's the last name. The surname first is definitely the
Well, it's not a surname,
Bajorans. No,
but it's been long enough. I don't honestly remember how they handled that. Did they always call her Dax?
yeah,
And Dax is the symbiote.
most of them would call them Dax. You know, super close people would call them by the first name. Or if you're really weird, you have Cisco calling his Dax old man because he knew her when she was he.
All right, so I think we have people in
That's what I was trying to remember.
their respective locations. So Captain, along with the Lexington, and Lieutenant Jones will be heading to Omega Draconis I to initiate first contact and convince the locals. This is also an issue with regards to the Federation law. The Prime Directive also states that you may break the Prime Directive and make first contact in such a situation where the Federation has caused the incident. However, the Federation, you cannot force, in this situation where you want to evacuate them, you cannot force them to leave if they don't want to.
And we've got how many hours?
Not enough.
You have plot hours. Less than a day.
You know what? We might as well just massively just knock them all out, bring them up, and find another planet and drop them off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're going to break the Prime Directive, go all the way.
Break it hard.
Do we have a sense when you say pre-warp? Now, put that into a human timeline construction, please.
Pre-warp would be
Anytime before they develop warp drive. So it could be like today.
but because this is TOS, they're like 1960s, 1970s Earth technology.
But there's only 1,000 of them?
There is only 1,000 of them.
Did there used to be more?
Would we know that?
Possibly.
You possibly do. Okay, Commander Talar will say in the brief, I will give you access to the Abyss Station's records. However, I cannot release the entire station's library due to Starfleet protocol.
Well, very well. We'll begin looking at those records.
All right. If you want to give me, whoever's going to be doing this looking of records. Give me a research roll.
Well, I guess it'll be me.
Doctor can try to help.
What's the doctor's skill in research?
14.
Oh, let me try and help.
I like how it says try. Wow, critical success.
I really
On the
helped
other
well.
hand,
Hey, look at this disc. No, try this disc.
Now Mel's going to roll an 18.
I am going to roll an 18. Can we just go with that roll?
Unfortunately not.
Dang it. Nope, not bad. So adding in the 1 for the help, I guess.
It's
Success by
actually
8.
+2 for the help.
Oh, success by 9.
All right, so you will learn that the inhabitants of Draconis I, they call themselves the Ithic. There's an image in the database. They also call the planet Chuktia in the Ithic language. Starfleet has set up a number of covert listening stations, and they have managed to pick up enough of the Ithic language that universal translators will be able to decipher the language appropriately.
The reason there's only 1,000 of them is because these little beggars eat each other, and these things are going to like have massive jaws and like born biter 10.
Let's get out of here before they kill Guy.
Why would they kill Guy? Wait, I'm Guy. They didn't give me a second name. It is believed that the Ithic are the descendants of the original survivors of the Draconis A supernova. They do seem to enjoy a fairly comfortable standard of living. And you know, in the time that you've been or Starfleet has been researching, they have witnessed no sort of war or any degree of violence or anything like that. The area in which they live is material rich. The society seems to have no single religion. What was your success by 9? And the society is fairly free thinking. Atheism is popular. However, there are a variety of small religions or religious organizations which resemble social clubs more than an organized church.
And what would their technology level be in GURPS terms?
I think that's tech level 7.
wow.
So that is 1960s.
Well, we're playing in the 1960s.
Yeah, but there's only 1,000 of them.
There is a common thread amongst the majority. The Ithic believe that they are blessed or a lucky race that is above tragedy and extinction. They believe this due to having survived all manner of tribulation that resulted from the collapse of Omega Draconis. So that is what you have learned.
And
There are
given the
some things that are classified. To get that information, you would have to hack.
oh, we're gonna fucking hack.
That just feels a little weird to me.
That doesn't feel weird to me at all. If there's something we need to know that's going to help us do this first contact with all due propriety, I will be going to the commander to say, now, what don't we know? I'm not putting my crew in risk if you don't divulge fully what is going on with this culture. Why is some of the information encrypted or off limits?
I'm afraid, Captain, I am not permitted to divulge that information. And trust me when I say that it will not change the course and outcome of what we need to carry on here.
Interesting. Of course, I don't have hacking, so this is just all free thinking in my brain. Very well, Commander. So the Ithic, what would be their astronomy and their sort of physics and astronomy worldview or capacity?
From what we have been able to ascertain, is they have a healthy understanding of astronomy and physics. Similar to that, I believe, of pre-warp Earth.
Have they explored beyond their planet?
To our knowledge, they have not.
Interesting. Very well. Well, if we only have a matter of hours, then yeah, we're gonna have to beam down there and make that first contact. My disarming smile should come in handy here.
As should Dr. Jones's Scottish accent.
Okay, so you begin to assemble into your various groups and head off to your respective missions. If you look at the system map, I've got your tokens situated at various locations. I assume that those are correct.
Well,
Indeed.
you know what happens when you assume.
Totally need
All
at
right.
least one red shirt with the shuttle crew. So he can go, look, sir, and die.
Right.
Mhm.
So you're taking a red shirt?
Of course we are.
What
He might
happened
not
to
be security. He might be an assistant to Commander Psylocke, but he's wearing a red shirt.
All right, so just one red shirt.
I think so, because we're in the process of going to possibly evacuate another small crew. We don't want to cram this thing entirely too full.
All right,
Yeah,
so
what's the occupancy on the shuttle?
good question. I'm not sure exactly. Enough.
Yeah, not.
What was the question?
super
I'm sorry,
important.
I didn't hear.
Occupancy on the shuttle,
Oh, yeah, it's fairly sizable. Hold on, let me look.
but not important. Yeah, we should be fine with one, I think. We just need a canary for the coal mine.
All right, so we will begin with those that are heading to the planet. With the knowledge that you have regarding the gravimetric distortions, you are able to safely navigate the system. You will arrive at Omega Draconis. Captain, you and whoever you're taking with you, you will be standing on the transporter pad. Your transporter chief will say, where would you like to go, Captain?
There's 1,000 of them. They must be all. Are they all located in one city or one community?
They are relatively close. Their cities have like one major city and a couple of sort of satellite communities.
Okay. Put us outside their main city in a forested area.
Aye, sir. And on your command, he will energize.
Energize.
Cue the sound effects. All right, you find yourself in a forested area. You can see, looking through the trees, what looks to be a 1960s era city of alien architecture.
All right. Dr. Jones. And who else is with us?
Whoever you
Oh,
wanted
no.
to bring. Did you want some red shirts?
Sure. We'll have 2 red shirts. Dr. Jones, myself.
Yep, she's doing the Star Trek thing. She's already got out her tricorder and she's scanning the surroundings.
Set phasers to stun. I don't think we'll need them, but I certainly don't want to harm these people.
What's this link? Sound effects. All right, how do you approach?
Oh. There must be some. Is there any instruction that we receive about doing this from Starfleet? I mean, this can't be the first go.
Essentially, you want to appear as non-threatening as possible. The universal translators will allow you to communicate.
Very well. All right. Well, can we find a road?
But I think it's essentially a case of, hello, take me to your leader.
Well, let's find a road.
You'll find a road and begin walking towards the city.
What's the geography like as we walk along?
It is fairly flat.
You're on a yellow brick road. It's
Are there any beryllium spheres rolling around in the wind? Okay, so but it's is it like plains, grasslands?
It is mostly light forest and grasslands.
All right.
So the vegetation seems to be really hardy.
All right. All right. So okay. Well, we'll head towards the largest community there.
I will get a tricorder roll for Lieutenant Jones.
Success by 5.
You begin analyzing stuff, and you will learn that the atmosphere and everything is, as you knew before, breathable. However, radiation levels on the surface are higher than normal. You do see some like aurora effects towards the planet's poles. This is obviously caused by the natural system radiation. And you would note that the radiation levels, while not high, not really high, they are harmful if you have prolonged exposure. However, you would know that by the time that this radiation jet from the black hole hits the planet, everything at that point, everything's going to get vaporized or die, but you're not going to suffer so much exposure that you can't treat it once you return to the ship. So there is radiation, but it's not high enough to worry about.
Right. She'll report all that to the captain.
And medically speaking, then, what should these people be experiencing that perhaps we can draw a parallel to in terms of advising them of the danger? Maybe they've already started to see some symptoms of this in their people.
You will speculate that they are immune to the current levels of radiation. Or they have evolved to be fine with it.
Very well. We just continue walking.
All right. Well, you continue to walk. And to your surprise, as you enter the city, you know, it's not that big. There's only like 1,000 people on the whole planet. You are surprised that as people look at you, your gazes are not met with fear or hostility, but it appears to be mild curiosity and amusement. I will get a perception roll or an observation if you have that.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, you will both notice this. The Ithic people appear to be fond of, you know, large gatherings because every time you encounter them, they're always in groups of several. You don't see very many lone Ithic unless they're going about a particular task. But the primary thing that you notice is there are no children in the city.
Good God. All right. Well, I will approach one of the Ithic to say, greetings.
As it becomes obvious that you're approaching one of this Ithic, he becomes animated and excited and says, welcome to Chaktia, weary travelers. We can only imagine the joy you must feel at having reached the center of the universe. Are there any more members of your society on the way, or are you the only members of your village with the moral uprightness, intelligence, and strength to be able to enter our realm?
Inwardly, the captain is going, I'm so glad I didn't bring any Vulcans. Why, yes. Yes, we are so very delighted to be here with you. Isn't that right, Dr. Jones?
We are very delighted indeed.
Yes, there are many more of us. And before we come into your gracious welcome, I'm wondering who amongst you is your community leader? Perhaps we could have an opportunity to speak with your leader.
Our leader, Akara, Mayor Akara. We shall form an assembly and tell the mayor. He will be happy to learn of your arrival.
What was the name of the town again?
The town doesn't have a name, or a name wasn't mentioned. However, you know, the guy did mention Chaktia.
Okay. Just adding that. Very well. I would enjoy meeting Mayor Akara. I wasn't too off on the spelling of Akara.
All right, so you will gather. You will gather with the mayor, and word seems to go around the city very quickly that you have arrived, and crowds begin to form in what seems to be the city centre, where there's a bit of a stage podium and a Ithikian, which appears to be someone of standing, which you assume is the mayor. At this point, we shall swap to the other crew.
We're on approach vector. Our red shirt is the pilot because he's a better pilot than all of the senior officers.
Well, let me see.
And an investigator in a fancy hat appears in our cockpit. Says something about it reaching out.
Doors and corners. It reaches out. It reaches out. It reaches out.
No, apparently they don't have the pilot skill at all, red shirts.
Then maybe it's a gold shirt.
They probably have spacer.
Well, worst comes to worst, I can pilot. I'm just not that great.
This is actually the first campaign where the red shirts are actually called red shirts. However, there's no need to pilot. As your shuttle approaches the alien base, near the location where the previous team was said to disappear, you will see that sensors do not penetrate the structure at all. There is no signs of the shuttle. As you approach the last known location, suddenly an aperture iris opens as the shuttle approaches.
We're being invited in.
You don't see
That seems friendly.
any indications of immediate threat.
Question. What did you say? You said this thing was made of something like neutronium or something like that. Is that
Neutronium,
going to
yes.
affect communications?
Yes.
Do we need to find I need to task Lieutenant Commander Dallas and Lieutenant Commander Psylocke to put their heads together and figure out a way to ensure we can maintain communications with the Lexington.
Well, that's not going to be possible if the iris closes.
Then we should you should figure out a way to keep the iris from closing.
You will also be able to see on sensors with a successful roll.
Right. That's you, Dallas.
Yeah.
What can you tell us with your sensors? What do your trill sensors tell us?
Same thing everybody else's sensors tell us.
By 7, that's a pretty good roll.
All right. Sensors through the iris opening. You can detect that there is an oxygen atmosphere. It is being held in via some sort of alien force field. There appears to be a landing bay. Yeah, just inside.
Is there another Starfleet craft in the landing bay?
You cannot detect any such craft yet.
Very well. Let us venture forth into the unknown danger.
Were you going to attempt to set up some sort of communications?
Yes, if remotely possible.
I mean, we can
Because
set up a relay or something like that, but like I said, if that iris closes, we're not going to be able to do anything about it. And we don't exactly know how it opened in the first place.
All right,
Maybe
I can
park
get
the shuttle in the middle of it so it doesn't close, but we don't know what sort of effects that's going to have.
give me a roll on your science and engineering from Psylocke or Inventor.
Engineer, figure out a way to jam that thing open. We science the shit out of it.
by
right.
6 and by 7. Wow.
Not only do you science the shit out of it, you engineer the shit out of it, and you come up with a means to set up a subspace relay that will be just outside the Iris airlock. You have surmised that the airlock itself is activated by the presence of something, the proximity sensor. So if you set up your subspace relay right at the opening, the airlock should remain open, or the iris should remain open, I should say. And you can relay from the shuttle to the Lexington.
Very good. And we shall proceed to the landing bay.
All right, you will sit down on the landing bay. Let me just resize this a little bit.
Uh-oh. It's probably a good thing that Commander Lorian is super paranoid and brought a stupid phaser rifle. That looks suspiciously like a combat map to me.
Starting to think we should have had that weaponry discussion.
What weaponry discussion?
We didn't have one.
And this
What do
was
you mean?
all made within Fantasy Grounds itself, which is kind of cool. All these images and stuff are from the default assets.
Oh, okay.
Fascinating. Right. So, need a bioscan to ensure we're not going to be breathing in horrible particulates that will cause us to turn into space zombies.
I think there's another shuttle in here.
There might be another shuttle in here. Although oddly, oh wow, it's a time loop. It's also it's our shuttle from the future,
That'd
from
be
the
about
past.
right.
Well, look,
I was
it
just
has the same. It USS Lexington on it.
I was just thinking this looks like it was pieced together in squares, which makes me think of XCOM. Right, sensors. Which I think we've already established the atmosphere in here, but we'll check again. The machine goes ping.
Ah, I think this is going to be annoying. Damn it.
Shouldn't those R's be red?
Yeah, there is no red R token.
Well, I actually think I seem to recall reading that even though everybody thinks it's always the red shirts who die, that it was actually more blue shirts.
Have I missed anyone? I think that's all of you.
Oh. I was like, what? What are you talking about? And I was looking at something else. Right.
Unfortunately, by dropping the tokens onto that map, it's removed you from the other map.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's how that works. Which is kind of annoying, but understandable.
I know a way to get around it, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's not important. All right, so in this landing bay, you will see the other shuttle. It appears to be undamaged. Can someone give me a tricorder reading?
Yeah, I just did that a bit ago.
All right, you'll see that tricorder tells you that your sensors or tricorder doesn't penetrate too far beyond this area. Obviously, the neutronium is blocking any sort of readings. However, you can see that this bay area is empty. The shuttle itself is empty. However, the shuttle is completely out of power.
Okay. That's odd.
You will
I'm
also
going
get
to
some
use-
readings that indicate that this entire station is generating, unimaginable levels of power.
Fascinating. I am probably going to have Stylock see if he can figure out why the other shuttle is completely out of power, and to ensure that our shuttle does not suffer the same fate. I very much would like to not remain here. My wife would not appreciate it.
All right, so Psylocke is heading to the other shuttle.
Oh, we'll probably all head over there.
I'm just trying to pull up the mechanic skill, or I'm guessing that might be one of the appropriate skills, mechanic something. And if they default to each other at some level.
You have the inventor skill, right?
Yep, inventor, which is
Does it
like
not
really
cover?
engineering.
It's only in engineering. It doesn't do mechanic.
No, correct. Or correct. Yes. Pretty much all the engineering skills, anything for like gizmos and gadgets, stuff like that. But I do have artificer and I do have other mechanic skills. I'm just trying to pull them up on the rulebook here to see if they default to each other.
And those of you on the alien base, give me a perception roll into, this will be a hearing-based perception roll, into the box, please.
Engineering, perception-based engineering.
Hearing.
I don't know.
Hearing-based
I don't know.
perception. And that's in the box.
Need to replace that triangle with Starfleet swoosh.
You know.
Com badge.
No, those aren't com badges yet. They're just patches.
Should be a board cube.
Oh, so mechanic defaults to engineer at -4 of the same specialty. So basically, I'm an engineer, wild card. So I could do engineer -4 for mechanic.
All right, so you want to try and diagnose what has happened?
Yeah, and I guess it would be a vehicle type, but yeah, it wouldn't matter. So yeah, -4, and then engineering or inventor. Success by 0, assuming no other modifiers.
You will be able to determine that the shuttle's power supply has been completely drained. So, batteries or, micro fusion reactors or whatever it is that powers the shuttles is completely drained. As to what caused it, you're not certain. You could perhaps jury rig some power from your shuttle to this shuttle to see if you can access sensor logs of this shuttle to find out what happened to cause it to, drain the power. As far as you can tell, there's nothing currently present that is going to drain your shuttle.
Right. Well. Yeah, we want to get their sensor readings.
All right, so give me a mechanic, power systems, or inventor -4 roll. And you can jury rig some power. If that is successful, then you can give me a sensors roll.
And while that's happening, glance around, look for like computer terminals or wall sockets or something.
All right, you will, as you're looking around, you will see that the room is full of strange symbols and devices. The language on the terminals here does not appear to be anything that you're familiar with, and your, I guess, tricorder scans language translation, come up with no effect. It would take a bit more time to try and analyze this language.
Well, take as much scans as we can while the engineers are jury-rigging the stuff.
Yeah, we'll since we've got communications open, we'll go ahead and upload some language samples to the science team on the ship and have them start looking it over.
They will begin to do that. There you go. I need that inventor -4 or mechanic power systems roll from Psylocke.
Mechanic is included in inventor.
Okay, so then just inventor roll. Psylocke.
Yeah, if you use the Monster Hunter versus the Wild Card Power-Ups book, it'd be different. Let me roll it. Let's see. Well, I
Just
was trying to
inventor is
think if
fine.
I should do like a scrounging roll to try to find some spare parts and components that it might be, so I don't have to take anything from our shuttle. That might be worth it.
Sure.
Not that I have a good scrounging roll or skill. Success by 2 on the scrounging.
You're able to scrounge up sufficient stuff to be able to link your shuttle's power to the previous crew shuttle. You will be able to power that shuttle. If you want to access the sensor logs, I'll need a sensors roll, please.
Oh, let me have a look.
Commander Dallas is with us, right?
He is. Apparently he's a little distracted, though.
Need to remember to announce what your success or fail was.
So for Psylocke, he rolled for Inventor earlier, success by 5. That was not including the -4 if we went that way. Or it would be success by 5 if we use the Monster Hunter rule. So either way, he made it.
And Lieutenant Commander Dallas succeeded by 1. All right, so you're able to analyze the sensor logs. It takes a little bit of time to go through it, but you'll see that there is a sudden surge of power. There's a gravitational distortion, and as the power in this station was building, and the time sort of concurs with when the station became active, or coincides with when the station became active. As the station powered up, the shuttle began losing power until the shuttle was drained and sensors fail and everything goes dark.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But it was totally related to the powering up of this station.
Right. Okay. So now we need to find the controls to turn things off.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if we could actually locate the crew from here, but I guess if the walls are blocking sensors, probably not.
Indeed, probably not.
And we don't have any idea what the layout of this place is or how big it is. Well, do we just split up and start searching?
We're gonna head in that direction.
Well, you will follow your tricorder towards, the best source of power or whatever.
Yep.
Right, so you have to come back around this way.
Why? There's a ladder right here.
Sure,
Unless that doesn't. Unless
that'll
that
work.
doesn't.
Doesn't matter, you can climb down the ladder.
Well, it might not actually be connected. As I'm zooming in.
Yeah, okay. No, it's not
Doesn't
connected.
matter.
Let me just move you all.
Stay alert.
Your perception rolls. Psylocke. From you're heading in that direction. From this direction over here, you hear a sound. Give me an IQ roll to see if you can work out what this sound is.
So fail by 1 on the IQ roll.
Wow, you are really, really smart.
You're not able to determine what the sound. You can hear the sound that's coming from that direction, but you don't know what it is.
Well, if we are alerted to the sound, I am going to go investigate because I am curious.
All right. You can give me an IQ roll. Lorien?
Success by 4.
Okay, you can hear what sounds to be metal on metal footsteps.
Great. Robots.
Robots.
The sound sort of goes tick, 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 and it appears to be getting closer.
Or claws. Metal claws.
You know, just
Which is
thinking
worse?
that we should probably, instead of just having 3 red shirts, we probably have a gold shirt for the pilot, red shirt for security, and a blue shirt as medical. Because we may need a medic.
Well, that's true.
Right. Well,
If you give me a successful tactics roll, your red shirts will swap out.
by 6.
Damn it, I can't do colours. Let's see what I've got.
Yeah, you're gonna
Just
need
change
some.
it to just change it to blue and G or B and G.
You're going to need some generic portrait tokens for them.
Let's see.
I was looking to see if I could find that portrait, the round portrait frame token somewhere, but I couldn't find it.
Where's the letter tokens? There. So is gold shirt and medical?
Blue.
Yes.
Yeah. You can do it that way, I guess.
Right. So we have heard this thing approaching. So going to have Dallas do like a scan to see if we can pick up other identifying features.
Tricorder noise.
Yep.
All right, give me that roll.
I was about to ask, do you want a new roll?
Yes,
Or
give me a
just
new roll.
improving contact? Well, how about I near critically succeed at it?
By 9.
Just to foil you. I couldn't remember what the tricorder noise was.
There it is.
Now I can.
You able to see that?
Yes. It does indeed appear to be a robot.
Wait, what was shared?
Your tricorder is picking up a machine approaching. You do not have visual sight on it yet.
Right. Okay. So now I've got a super awesome science guy and a super awesome engineer. They need to conspire to be able to, disable it without us having to shoot it.
So we've got 6 of you there.
You know, anytime something like that comes up here, my first instinct is to try to actually figure out how to do that. I keep forgetting that's not how this works.
Feel free to spend a turn or two to position yourselves, and you can position your extras.
Oh man, I was gonna go there.
No, we can't. We can't move those guys.
Huh?
Nope.
Oh, there's an option for that. Hang on.
Right. What was that? It's like friendly.
Party vision and movement.
Right.
Okay, you should be able to do it now. All right, so that is your positions. As this thing becomes or enters your line of sight.
Right. So first thing, Lorian is going to. Oh, it's kind of cool looking. It doesn't. It looks too cool, actually. It doesn't look 60s enough.
Uh,
What's
It's
the size?
it is size modifier 0, so
Wow,
it is
that's pretty
about
big.
it is about the size of a person laying down.
Right. So the first thing Lorian is going to do is instruct Dallas and Psylocke to, or ask. It's like, can you disable that thing remotely while he takes aim?
So you're taking aim. Psylocke.
Well, can we somehow log into its, Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or something like that and remotely disable? Is that an
Well,
option?
I mean, if there is some kind of signal here, we should be picking that up on the sensors.
Give me a science roll.
Okay, that's not me.
I'm gonna do that. And roll mediocrely, but well enough.
You do not seem to
That to
find
work.
any way to interface with this thing.
There's
If
no
it's
external
possible,
signal.
if it's possible,
Self-contained.
it could be technology that you're unfamiliar with, but you can't detect anything.
Well, okay. So if it's my turn, then I'm not seeing any other option. Then he's gonna ready his phaser. He's gonna draw his phaser.
Dallas, you're doing the
Well,
tricorder thingy.
we have a slight weaponry problem here. So I had originally brought over some phasers, and some people have taken them out of the party sheet, and we only had one.
Not me. I had my own.
I think there were two of them, and I don't know which one was actually appropriate. But we needed the GM to actually put multiple in there so we could share them. Aha.
All right, I will increase the number you have there.
Now, I don't know which one between Phaser 1 and Phaser 2 we actually supposed to have.
Phaser 1 is the really small thing that almost looks like the key fob.
You would likely have a
Right.
phaser 2,
Phaser 2 is the cool pistol one.
or perhaps
Let's
a
go with that.
phaser rifle
They're
if you
not
were
gonna
expecting
they're
trouble.
not going to have rifles. That's going to be almost always a security only thing.
Okay, we'll probably need some extra tricorders as well.
Are they gonna have the stats attached to it?
I was expecting them to. Now, I do have them on my sheet, but that was because I had them originally.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Was it me?
It
Yeah, I
was you,
think
but you were tricordering.
I was tricordering. I suppose I'm still tricordering, so I'm going to continue tricordering. Wonder if we could just talk to it, maybe.
This robot will walk out of the hallway, turn to face you guys. The sort of central sensor eye will sort of flash a few times, a red in color, and then you can see something energizes to the left and right of the sort of sensor eye.
Red eyes, that's never a good sign.
No, it usually is not.
What would you have your red shirts do? They're just waiting.
Let's see. So the pilot and the medical dude are probably just staying out of the way. The other guy is probably got his weapon out, but you know that means he's gonna likely explode or something.
Right, so he will
Aim, I guess.
sort of aim, peer around the corner and aim.
Continue to aim, and hopefully it's not going to. Let's see if it'll see what it does.
Yeah, he'll do this. Spock. Psylocke. Will do the same thing. He will aim. I guess he'll take a step and kind of position himself so he can see around the corner. He will have to expose himself a little bit and take an aim. Too many things on my. Yeah, thanks for advancing. Yeah, I couldn't advance the tracker.
Dallas.
Back around to me again already. And so we did not analyze the language. Crap. I would like to see if I could analyze whatever it is that's energizing on there. I don't know if that's a thing that one can pick up on the sensor, but I
Sure.
know that ship sensors can tell
You,
when phasers are firing up, so
you should, based off your previous sensors roll, no need to roll again. You get the feeling that a weapon system is energizing.
yeah, that's a weapon system. Is it a familiar sort? Energy signature?
I guess you could say it is unfamiliar.
Can identify.
Definitely alien. Or at least not known species weapons. All right, this thing will target the most logical target, which is red shirt.
Because of course it is.
Wow. The weapon system on the sort of left side of the robot, it will discharge 3 pulses of energy in rapid succession. Fortunately for Mr. Redshirt there, all these shots miss. There's a potential that Psylocke could be hit, I guess. Maximum roll of 9. Very narrowly Psylocke is hit. But these three bolts ping around the 2 characters there on the corner. And then you can see as it's discharged, the other side of the robot, its weapon begins to, you imagine, is going to discharge next turn. Actually, so that the other PCs are not doing nothing, you can control a red shirt.
Or a blue shirt or a gold shirt.
Captain, would you like to control a red shirt, a gold shirt, or a blue shirt?
Oh, I'll do a red shirt.
Let's see if I can share this with you. Did that work?
Yes, it did.
All right, Mel, would you like to control a gold shirt or a blue shirt?
Let's do gold shirt.
Did that work?
Is it Sin?
No. Let me do this again. Did that work?
Why do we have a hostile gold shirt?
Oh, nope, I got it. Thank you. I was looking on the character window.
Probably need to remove one of those. Got gold shirt and gold shirt 1. Oh my god, they're spawning!
Well, that's probably good for us.
Yep. So blue shirt's probably not going to be doing much of anything because she's medical. Unless she breaks out the firearm and goes all John Wick on them, and we're like, what the heck was that?
So is the blue shirt... Oh, no,
No,
blue
no.
shirt's not doing anything. Gold shirt.
Yes, you could say all out defense.
All right. So we're just doing aim, right?
We could assume that you have aimed for 1 turn already.
Were we given the go ahead to fire?
I don't think you have been given an order to fire yet, but you have been fired upon.
Okay. If we've been fired upon, then I will fire. Give me a second to find the tab. Okay, so sorry, it's my first time working off of one of these. So we're using the rifles, right?
No, you're using phaser 2.
Okay.
I think the red shirt might also have a rifle, but everybody else is going to be mostly with phaser 2.
And was the order to set phasers to stun or to kill?
By default, we generally would have them set to stun.
Stun 1 or stun 2?
Does stun
I
even work
honestly
on a
don't know
robot?
why they have stun 1 and 2, because they just, in the show, it's just Set your phaser
Done.
to stun.
All right, success by 2, maximum 3 hits.
That
Does a
including
stun do anything
range and
to a
all
robot?
that.
Oh, yeah.
No, it will not. Well, apparently not.
Wow.
Even though the robot attempts to navigate this combat by moving and dodging, it fails to do so. However, I'll save you the trouble of rolling stun. It seems to be completely ineffective. Doesn't seem to
Okay,
disrupt the
so-
robot at all.
That was probably a miss because it's a -8 for range. I'm sorry. I completely forgot about that.
Never mind. You
So
got
it
got
is a miss.
lucky.
Pew, pew, pew.
All right, red shirt.
Okay, this red shirt is. What's the point of firing on stun if it does nothing?
Yeah, he will have a rifle.
If I have a rifle, should it be skill level 12?
It is skill level 12, yes.
All right. Then
You did spend last turn aiming.
Okay, I don't think I can adjust the skill levels for the phaser rifle.
Oh, okay. I see that. Hang on.
That's probably something that the Lexington security crew are like, this is awesome. The XO is a former Marine, so we get to go around with rifles a lot more often than regular Starfleet security.
All right. Did those values change for you? All right. Do your damage.
So how many shots hit? Both?
2 shots hit if you fired equivalent of 2 shots. All right. The
Hey,
GM
thank you.
officially hates you for rolling twice.
Oh, that's interesting. Mine didn't come in with the armor divisor.
The armor divisor is only on Disintegrate 1 and Disintegrate 2.
Yeah, really? Well, no. If something has apparently killed 3, kill 4, kill 4 and 5, they apparently have a armor divisor at 2.
I was just referring to the rifle. All right, so it hit. Divide by 3.
What did I do to it? What did I do to it?
All right, your phaser appears to have melted some of the structure of this robot.
Melty, melty.
It is, however, still functional.
That is some armor.
However, it seems to have stunned the robot. It has its front legs sort of buckle a bit with the impact of the phaser, and it has sort of wobbled it a little.
Okay, I don't think I can advance. No, all right, thank you.
All right. Time to set my phaser to shake and bake. Ooh, success by 9, maximum 5 hits.
And you didn't change the name to Shake and Bake.
Right.
I did not.
Roll
So,
all
you know
5
how-
hits.
Yeah, you know how you said you hated him? Hate me more.
I do. All right. I know how I can do this. Is it not working?
You know. Can you not drop the total onto the character and have it apply that damage? Is that not a thing?
It is a thing. And then
I don't know why it never occurred to me before, but if you did that, you could just do that with all of the damage totals and then reduce it by the DR.
That's just what I did.
That was a good idea.
All right. With the captain's, the first officer's phaser blast, the robot's legs buckle and give out, and it stops motionless on the floor.
Oh, send more at it.
Psylocke.
Well,
Combat
presuming
is effectively over, unless
in that
you're
case, yeah.
you're
In
going
that
to
case, we
murder
want
it.
the science and no, we want the science and engineer to go over there and figure it out.
Now,
Well, here's hoping it doesn't have a detonate.
no.
That would be
No.
your part of your point. It's like you get over there and you go, yeah, this is bad. It's about to explode. It's
gonna
caused
be
the
some,
station to explode.
There's going to be some transistors in there and blue and red wiring.
Yep.
And transistor boards.
Yeah, I am going to scan it to make sure that there isn't sort of an increasing energy signature.
There is nothing like that.
Okay, sort of in
And
countdown.
Lieutenant Commander Psylocke may want to examine it for the armor.
Yeah,
Nothing
he
else, maybe we
will.
can put it like in a stasis box or something and store it on the shuttle.
Yeah, he will take a moment to a couple seconds here to kind of let Commander Dallas do his scan, look around, make sure there's no more sentry bots coming around the corner, and then we'll proceed forward to investigate.
The situation seems to have stabilized. You will head up to the robot, which still glows from its multiple phaser hits. Upon closer investigation, you can see some of the melted internals. The technology is beyond anything that you have seen before. You're not able to make head or tail of some of its internals beyond the obvious servo motors and stuff that allow it to walk, or actuators. The weapon system is also unfamiliar, and it appears to be entirely autonomous. The metal shell is some sort of exotic armor, and quite tough. You would imagine anything but the more powerful phaser blast or phaser settings would probably not hurt this thing.
Right.
You know, translate this meta information into character knowledge, but it has a DR of 30.
Oof. Right. So with that in mind, we are absolutely putting it in like some sort of stasis container or something that's on the shuttle to take it back with us for further examination and research.
So do we head back toward the energy signature?
Yep. Still got to do that. And then the captain has to do his thing on the planet.
Just looking at the time, we have another hour. What we might do, we'll continue for a little bit so as we don't go overtime, and such that we have enough material to finish or do a full session next time. I think it's kind of a good time to leave it. If we play through to our normal finishing time, we'll still have to do a second session, but that second session is going to be a lot shorter than our full time. So it's up to you. I'm happy to keep playing until time, and then next session we have a short one, or we sort of begin to wrap it up now and have a fuller session next time.
Well, we did have some stuff we plan to do after.
Yeah, I'll be here next session, so that works. And yeah, I'm good with ending now because I've got some supper on the go.
Does anyone object to not wrapping it up?
No, I'm cool with it.
All right. So then we have about 10-15 minutes. Is there anything that your characters are particularly going to do at this point?
Captain,
continue forward into the danger.
Captain Ramius is looking at Dr. Jones and thinking the red shirts with us are going to be appetizers.
He's also trying to figure out what she says. Actually, no, he'd have no problem with it. She's the one that's going, what is that accent of his?
Yep, pretty much.
Is it against your programming to impersonate a deity?
So on board the station, your immediate post-combat is to secure this robot onto your shuttle.
In like a stasis, I don't know, some sort of stasis container. So it doesn't like get out and blow up the ship.
Well, to be fair, we were expecting to do science here.
Yep.
All right, so...
But I figure, that could be useful for later research where they go, man, look at this awesome armor. Maybe we can upgrade Starfleet's hulls.
And now you know how the Defiant got its special armor.
That's a little bit farther down the road. And actually, the Defiant got that stuff from researching the Borg because it was supposed to be anti-Borg. Still not as sexy as the Kira class, though.
All right, so you will spend your time securing this robot. Now back on the planet for the next 10 or so minutes.
Yep.
A crowd has assembled, quite large. Not the full, the full population, but definitely several hundred people have turned up, and while you're sort of waiting to meet this Mayor Akara, you can see that the locals are very pleased to see you, and they react in a similar way as the previous person, saying that you must be so awesome to come to the center of the universe. We look forward to meeting more of your species and so on.
I'll be looking at the doctor, saying something about, we don't have much time, Doctor.
The mayor will introduce himself. Let me bring up his image again, or the ethic image. He will say, "Welcome, visitors."
Thank you, good mayor. I'm curious, do you have many visitors who come to you from away?
No, you are the first, but we know
Do you-
there are species beyond our world.
Yes, indeed we are a species from beyond your world.
You are the first. It is a great honor to have a species such as yours join us here in the center of the universe.
Do you
You
know?
must be wondrous creatures.
Well, and we are beholding your wondrousness. Tell me, we are the first. Do we not look strange or terrifying to you? You seem rather nonplussed by our presence.
He sort of blinks and sort of cocks his head a little bit. Of course not. We always knew that there were others, and some would come.
Well, then, I am glad that we are not a distressing surprise to you.
You see that there's a couple of others that have sort of gathered that appear to be also people of importance.
And these two are, or however many there are. She'll kind of motion towards them. See if we can get
There
names.
are 4 extras that have sort of gathered, and they're sort of standing behind the mayor. He says, "Oh, yes, this here is our Ministry of Astronomy. This, our Minister of Athletics, our Minister of Biology, and lastly, our Minister of Philosophy."
Wonderful. Very good to meet all of you.
They all sort of smile and nod.
I would be very curious, and let me introduce myself. I am Captain Marco Ramius of the USS Enterprise, a starship that has traveled great
You're
distances
not from the
to be here.
Enterprise.
Sorry,
Lexington.
the Lexington, and I've traveled great distances to be here. And this is my ship's doctor, Dr. Jones.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
welcome.
She needs a fedora.
And I guess you
Okay.
introduce your red shirts. This here is Guy.
Yes, this is Guard 1 and Guard 2, the Guard brothers. I would be keenly interested, and I look over at the Minister of Astronomy. I would be keenly interested to take a look at your star charts and how you view the universe from which we've come.
Give me a reaction roll.
Okay. Is this a universe reaction roll?
No, this is a captain reaction roll.
Ah.
Add whatever bonuses you feel are appropriate.
Well, at this point, I'm going to add social regard respected, because clearly they respect someone who's crossed such distance to see them.
Clearly a xenophilic race.
Good reaction. The Minister of Astronomy steps forward and says to you, "Of course, I would be happy to share our knowledge. It is vast, as we sit at the center of the universe. Everything that you see revolves around this here system and our planet of Chaktia."
Yes. And if I may, would you be interested to see our star charts?
Of course.
Very good. You know, the only way I can really show them to you is on our ship. Would you be at all interested to visit our ship?
You see, he thinks about it for a little bit. And then says, actually, let me roll. He says, "I would at some point love to see your ship, but I don't think we'll learn anything new as I have said, our charts are vast, and we already understand the universe as it is. You wouldn't be bringing anything new to us."
I thought you said they weren't religious.
Well, I could say to
They're
you,
not.
and perhaps the good doctor could assist me to this end, but it would be just very curious to see how our charts line up with your own, and I'm sure yours are very correct. Perhaps there's something in your charts that, in fact, perhaps you could come and see ours and correct them. In fact, I would invite all of your noble leaders to come with us, and as an act of hospitality, take a look at our ship. I think you might be interested to see how we arrived. Because of this importance, it would be an honor for us to host you.
The Minister of Astronomy, he sort of holds his hand up in a gesture to wait there. He turns and runs eagerly away from the sort of stage and podium where everyone is sort of gathered silently, just paying attention to what's going on. your discussions are of great interest to the crowd that sort of has formed around this area. It is, the discussion that you're having is completely open, so everyone in this that has gathered can hear what is being said, with the exception of those that are probably too far away. But they can hear what is being said, but they all just sort of stand there quietly, and then every now and then you'll hear the murmur of "oh, ah."
Now, can I roll diplomacy to further figure out how this might go?
Sure. What is it you're trying to do with your diplomacy?
See if this is going where I think it's going, in the idea that they are going to be open to this idea. Or are they basically saying, "Nah, we don't like your terms"?
Well, you haven't actually, beyond offering them a visit to the ship, you haven't actually explained what it is that you want to achieve.
Well, I suggested that we could look at star charts and see if they could correct ours. That's
However,
transactional.
the Minister of Astronomy will return with a rather thick tome, and sort of plonk it on the podium in front of you, and begins to sort of rapidly turn through pages. If you have astronomy, you may make a roll.
Hey, this is 60s text, so it's all dot matrix printer.
Failure.
What is the default for astronomy?
I don't think it has a default.
Okay.
Is it not?
Let's check. Defaults to IQ -6.
Yep.
Oof.
All right. The Jones can make a roll.
Wow.
Wow.
Success by 1.
Wow. I'm looking at the charts going, duh.
All right. So the Minister of Astronomy starts to rattle off theorems and mathematical stuff, losing the captain quite quickly. But Lieutenant Jones, you're remembering enough from Starfleet Academy astrophysics that you're able to follow along, and you can see that all their astronomy is literally based around them being the center of the universe. Everything rotates around them. Their math is flawed, but like I said, it's based on the premise that they are the center of the universe.
Well, it's not necessarily untrue. If you put a GoPro on a person and they run around in circles, it'll look like everything is revolving around them.
True.
Well, now, I can clearly see that your tome is weighty and full of information. If I might, come to my ship and let me show you ours. I think there's some definite educating that needs to happen for our benefit.
The mayor will look to the crowd and look back to you guys. Captain, your diplomacy was success by what? 1. The mayor, Akara, will think for a moment And he'll turn to the crowd and says, "As your representative, I will visit their vessel and see what information they can bring to us of others that hope to seek Chuck Tier out and join us here." And the crowd will sort of cheer and clap at this. You will see. You'll notice that the Minister of Philosophy is looking at you a little bit skeptical. However, since we are now at time, that is where we will leave it.
All right.
So everyone will get 2 points.
2 points.
We will continue this next session. We probably won't need a full session for it, so it'll be another short one, depending on how long you drag it out.
All we have to do is get in a fight and fail a lot.
I'm disappointed that I failed to kill the red shirt.
Plenty
That's
of time.
true. That's a pretty bad GM if you can't even kill a friggin' red shirt.
Yeah, I should have just straight up killed him. No rolls. But that wouldn't be nice to Nosh, who was playing the red shirt.
It's all good.
All right, so for the guys here, remember we're going to do something after this, so probably don't leave the session yet.
So,
Wow.
However, if you are watching this and have questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
see ya.